What's up, guys? This is Rise, and welcome to part 2 of this Lapras Florges Emolga team. I wanted to key in 2 separate parts simply because I wanted to focus on how good Florges was in that part number 1. And in part number 2, we're going to see Lapras start to assert its dominance with how strong it is. And here we go. Check out in this lead scenario just how crazy good Lapras is asserting itself as the new water type in the meta, the new main water type, you could say, because what we're going to do here is we're going to shield the play rough to buff our defense before we take one. And then this Skull Bash, I think, really comes in handy against things like Azumarill and the mirror match, of course, if you're seeing a lot of opposing Lapras. Lapras going to buff its defense stat with that Skull Bash, and now the play rough doesn't even do that much. We're going to farm as much as we can, and we have double Sparkling Aria ready for this Dusclops. Dusclops is bulky, so it can take it quite well. But we're going to fire off another Sparkling Aria here, and you're about to see Lapras basically take out like 2 bulky, strong, neutral matchups because of how strong it is. Lapras absolutely insane. Sparkling Aria. I like that animation. And here we go. Lapras with that bow tie. Okay, they are running Poltergeist, so they do knock us out, but think of all the energy they had to expend there just to get rid of our Lapras. Lapras taking out almost 2 full Pokemon. We're going to get off this Acrobatics here with Emolga. Remember, Acrobatics, slightly less energy now. I believe it's a Mega Horn clone. 55 energy for 110 base power, I want to say. Don't quote me on that. Sludge. New move. Stay tuned for the Sludge video we've got going with Shadow Galarian Wheezing. That was a lot of fun. Discharge. And, yeah, Florges going to be able to just close out here. We do respect the potential Hydro Pump. And I know I said Sludge new move. Not actually a new move, just a newly buffed move. Trailblaze coming through. Going to look to knock out Azumarill here. And they're just going to let it go, knowing that Swalot we'll get to a Sludge here before going down, but Sludge is not going to be quite enough to one-shot us. Does do a considerable amount of damage, however. And thanks to Lapras setting up the back line, we're able to get a nice win there in that game to start things out. Who we got next? Who dares challenge the mighty Lapras? Bob does. Bob the Hobo. Apparently it's a funny name. Psywave Lapras going to deal super effective, so they switch out into Malamar, and we've got a great counter response here with our Florges. Now, if we were to go for Moonblast and they were to Protect Shield, we could open up a situation where maybe they could even like flip this, just with how fast they generate energy and the Psywave damage. So I actually decide to bait, and even though they call it, I still get off this next Trailblaze before they throw again. So this is totally fine with me. Putting the pressure on Malamar. They decide to let it go. They're going to come back in with Wheezing. And I decided just to go immediately for the Trailblaze. Why not get off some nice chip damage while I'm here, rather than give them the opportunity to throw first? And we actually win the CMP. Let's go. Florges, higher attack than I thought. Sludge knocks us out. Lapras comes back and... oh, no. I remember this game now. This looked like an amazing situation, right? However, the Panda, oh no, the Panda boosts on us. And now these Karate Chops are going to be doing some somewhat significant damage. Honestly, did they boost twice? Because I'm looking at my health. I'm still healthy. I wonder if they boosted twice and we didn't see it with the CMP. Discharge coming through. And then, dude, look at this. I'm not even going to get there, and I didn't recognize it until too late. Maybe if I had swapped immediately, I could have outpaced here to 2 moves, but we get baited as well. And then it's the close combat, dude. No. The Panda handing us our first loss of the season, I believe. And that's all right. You can't win them all. In like 40,000 something Go Battle League matches, I've got like a 55% win rate, so... that's the way the Go Battle League goes sometimes. Malamar lead. We are going to stay in here for now. And maybe look to dip at some point. Not convinced that they're willing to debuff themselves with superpower so early. I let the first one go, knowing that Lapras is bulky enough, right, where it can actually tank a superpower. We've got a raid notification. Maybe it was Tho, maybe it was Arrow, maybe it was Tomahawk. Who knows? We get the shield from Malamar. And yeah, I mean, we're just comfortable taking the shield advantage here and then coming in with Floor just maybe to start getting some farm. They're going to stay in momentarily before eventually going Corviknight, but we can punish this Corviknight with our Emolga here. Going for Discharge, super effective damage. Remember, Discharge is slightly less energy now, but it's also slightly less damage. So Discharge, not the best move. Not the best move. And they actually are running Payback, which is unfortunate. That is going to deal a lot of damage to our Emolga. Emolga going to go for another Discharge here. Knocks out Corviknight. Malamar comes back. And Malamar is going to knock out our Emolga here. We've still got a very healthy Florges, though. And they've got their own Florges. So I'm going to go straight for the Moonblast. I'm way ahead on energy. I'm up a shield. Bang! Big damage. And now at this point, we can just go straight for Trailblaze. I'm going to shield everything here because no matter what this Florges throws, it's going to be more damage than whatever Malamar throws at me. So we're just simply going to double shield this Florges against Florges. And we should be able to get the farm down here and come out with energy for the Malamar. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Throw the Trailblaze immediately. And that is a good game. Florges, once again, closing, but Lapras has just been getting us advantage after advantage in the lead with this team. On to the next one. On to the next one. Luna Dimension. Mysterious name. Okay, Dunsparce, a little bit of a core breaker for us, so we're going to have to try and get a little fancy here. Gonna have to try and get a little fancy. They go for Rock Slide. They're gonna slightly outpace us here since it's 3 to the next. So we're gonna get off a Sparkling Aria here for some chip damage. And gonna try and catch this second one on our Florges, which we're able to do. Is our Florges gonna get punished by something? Kind of. Ariados, definitely not what we want to see. However, at least we can hit for this Moonblast, which will do some considerable resisted damage. And I'm hoping this Moonblast puts it low enough where we can Psywave down before it gets to 2 attacks. So we come in with Lapras. We're going to go for a big Psywave down here. And what are they going to throw? They're going to throw Trailblaze. And we come out with nearly 2 Sparkling Arias. Kind of hoping for Dunsparce to come back, but no, it's actually Poliwrath. It's Poliwrath. And Skullbash gonna connect. In comes Emolga. And Emolga is going to try its best to fight back here. I'm thinking, what does more damage? Is it gonna be the Icy Wind, or is it gonna be the Rock Slide? We ended up looking up that Icy Wind does slightly more damage there. So we do make the correct shield. However, I think Emolga just has a little bit too much to handle here, as Dunsparce is going to go for another rollout. A Rock Slide knocks us out, and we come in Lapras, and Dunsparce going to roll out us down. Tough loss there. So a big game number 5 coming up here to start the season. Some raw, uncut footage. We're not showing you all the wins, the losses as well. Can we end with a positive set, the decisive Game 5? And here we go. This is where Lapras thrives against Azumarill. And if I remember this game correctly, I think the opponent makes a slight mistake here by letting us throw the Skull Bash first. They let us buff our defense first before they hit us with the Play Rough. And now the Play Rough's going to do even less damage. No incentive for me to shield. It's definitely not going to two-shot me. And look, we're just going to overfarm a ton. Totally comfortable eating another Play Rough here. And we're going to try and overfarm as much as possible before we expend our energy. And I decided to just go for the Skull Bash. I can buff my defense again and make sure I get the knockout here before another play rough. In comes Annihilate, and look, because of our boosted defense and extra energy, not only do we beat Azu, we get off a Parting Sparkling Aria against the Shadow Annihilate. Florges comes in here, and Florges is going to take the Ice Punch. It is a Corsola in back, so bit of a neutral beast here. Not the most obvious endgame scenario, but we do land the Moonblast. That's huge. I think that makes things a little bit more straightforward. And what we don't want to happen is expend our Discharge too early, where it's not going to knock out. So what I decide to do is just keep on overfarming. And this way, I'm going to have a ton of energy here, where he can't really afford to shield the Corsola. We do successfully shield Power Gem. We're at like 100 energy, and they kind of have to let Corsola go at this point. I throw right away against Annihilate to put on the pressure, and we should reach a Trailblaze with our Florges if they expend energy. So they kind of had to overfarm, I guess. Discharge nearly knocks out. One Fairy Wind is going to get the Annihilate, and that is going to secure the positive set for us, with Lapras certainly leading the charge, leading the way. And this team was a lot of fun in the two separate sets that we ran it. Lapras, Florges, Emolga. I would say certainly Lapras and Florges kind of carried the brunt of the workload. Emolga had its moments, but I do think Emolga was more of like a side grade with this charge, not necessarily an upgrade. And then Acrobatics, of course, was a strict upgrade. But really, Lapras showing its bulk, its strength in a lot of those matchups, and absolutely dominating who has been the main water type in the meta, Azumarill, for such a long time. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. If you're new around here, comment down below. All comments are appreciated. And all that said, thanks so much for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace.